While in Oregon, I'm still rocking some of my Arizona roots apparel. I got my Gabacho hat on from the old Pueblo. I got my cumulative t-shirt and my Paulo Paczynski project exclusive version of it. When I'm here, I like to represent my local brands that I absolutely love and let them know that Arizona is in the house. But I have to admit, the weather here is a lot better. It's in the middle of the day right now, and it's like 80. But it doesn't get dark here until 9:30, which is really weird. Hey, I meant to ask you, how do you feel about the sun going down like at 9 p.m. here?
It starts sunning at 9 o'clock, and it's still light out at 9:30 at night.
Which is always fun when you have kids who think they go to bed when it gets dark outside. But it's not even dark yet. It's not even dark yet. Now that we're done visiting with my dad, we're going to go off to the Science Center. And I guess visiting was a loose term, but we saw him. Now we're going off to experience science, but first we have to race this chucklehead. Here we are at the Eugene Science Center, which is, by all accounts, really cool. We were looking online and it has really cool features and amazing exhibits to come check out. And more importantly, it's actually right across the street from the University of Oregon football stadium. Now, as a lifelong U of A guy and Pac-12 guy, I'm in enemy territory. However, this is what having Nike money gets you. But let's go do science. Science!
Bow down! Bear down!
Not only are we at the University of Oregon football stadium, here comes their starting offensive line.
Look,
Go Ducks!
duckies.
But enough with ducks. It's time for science! Charlie, we just can't escape all these ducks. An alien duck. Oh, starstruck duck. Try to say that 3 times. Actually, don't say that. Now, this is going to be very similar to Flandreau Science Center back in Tucson at the University of Arizona. But it still need to be half as cool as Flandreau because it's not at the University of Arizona. Bear down. Here, Poochie, 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 Poochie. Aww. We see these outside of our house all the time. Just more skin. And leave it to Henry to already find the Legos in the Science Center.
And this robot,
He built a robot. Surprising. I just saw the coolest thing. Do you want to see it?
Yeah.
Come with me. It's a Tyrannosaurus Rex's skull. How cool is that? A Tyrannosaurus Rex skull. Which reminds me, the new Jurassic Park movie just came out. I kind of want to see that, but after seeing this, maybe I'll hold off. These future engineers and scientists hard at work. As the guy with vertigo, I am offended by this. Ah, what the heck, let's give it a try. So far, so good. My calves are burning. My calves are burning. Well, I got 0 apparently because Charlie never hit start. Terrible wingman. So far, there's lots of really cool exhibits here, but I'll be the first one to say it's a little underwhelming so far. In fact, I think this might be like the only real room. Ooh, fluid dynamics. Let's put there, yeah. Now this is just too much work. You know what though, I have an idea. Oh, Charlie, and go. See how long you can hold on. Shaking's probably not the best idea. As soon as you can't hang anymore, just drop. Oh, we got to 15 seconds.
15 seconds.
A new world Charlie record. Mom, don't be silly. Once you've achieved greatness, there's only one way to go from there. 15 seconds? You can't do that. Let's go, kid. And now the coolest exhibit of all, Windows software. I say this in the nicest way possible. I think Flandreau has this place beat.
Yeah.
We're already done.
Yeah.
But doesn't mean they weren't interesting. This has been fun so far. What have we learned so far?
Always learning.
Always learning. I learned things look a lot bigger when you're smaller. Apparently we're going to try the stress one. I should be a champ at this. Press the large green button. I don't know if I'm doing well or bad.
You're psychic. You're moving it.
Doing good.
Does that mean I'm like crazy stressed?
That means you had happy thoughts.
Truth be told, even though this is really small and we're already kind of done, it was a nice escape from the stress we've had from this afternoon. No complaints. And only $7.50 per person. Definitely not bad pricing for what you get in here. Now, if you want to do the other stuff, like the planetarium exhibit, that's an additional $7.50. Prices probably could change throughout the year. I was reading on the website, though, they actually use the parking lot here for overflow parking from the University of Oregon Stadium. So what that tells me is this center probably makes the majority of their money with parking, because this is like a one-and-done type situation. But it's still really fun. There's lots of cool interactive exhibits here. And back home in Tucson, we have the Children's Museum, which is very similar to what we see here. And we also have Flandreau that encompasses the science portion. This is fun, but it's not really, it's practical science application, not a lot of science education, if that makes any sense. Still fun, definitely recommend it if you're in the Eugene area. $7.50, can't really beat that price. Guys, we just learned that Henry went through some weird mutation and he cannot leave the Science Center. He is now a peacock. I want to introduce you to your friend. Doesn't look like you. And that's when Tommy and Charlie vanished. But it's okay, they undid the snap, and here we are again.
Daddy?
Thanos foiled once again.
Daddy,
This is what the Predator sees. Hey look, battery's charging in my pocket. All these years of skee ball are about to pay off. Or I was wrong. Brother versus brother. Ready? Time to battle with your brains.
Well, Henry won because he was able to.
Well,
Eric's not even trying.
I hope they never see this video, but we've long suspected Henry was the brains of the operation. Whew, I don't know about you guys, but I'm all scienced out. Now there's a football stadium across the way. We're gonna go get our jock on. I sounded wrong. After a nice little break, it's time for dinner and a little change of wardrobe. I want to see how my sister reacts. She actually bought me this for my 40th birthday, and I don't think she's seen it in real life yet. So let's see if we can get her reaction. We liked it so much last time we were here. Time for round 2. Although no hush puppies this time. Or do they? Dana had tots and a burger, and I had brisket and pulled pork. Thanks for the meal, buddy. Sorry we ate your cousin. Now for the main event tonight, finally heading to see Superman. I can't remember the last time I saw a movie on opening weekend, but everyone else is asleep because they're babies. Me and the big bro are heading out. So we don't have Regals back in Arizona, so this is actually my first time coming to one in a long time. Last time I was in one was actually in Oklahoma City. Finally saw Superman. Do I have thoughts? Yes. Are they clear and concise at the moment? No, because I fell asleep for like 15 minutes. So a couple disclaimers. As a lifelong comic book guy and a semi-professional comic book writer, I take certain things with a little bit of umbrage. But overall, I liked it. I don't think it was a full, true reboot, but I liked the story they were telling. But as my brother put it, it was a little all over the place, which kind of is But it was very James Gunny, and I like James Gunn. I've been fortunate enough in the past to have a couple conversations with him, and I like the dude and I like his take on things. And I can tell this came from a fan's point of view and someone who always wanted to play with the character. So I like it, and I will take it as it is. Now, do I think it's better than like Man of Steel? No, I think Man of Steel is still the best Superman movie overall, but Christopher Reeve is always going to be my Superman. That being said, I can't wait to see where the DC universe goes, so I do think this was an excellent start. That's it for now, because it's time to find our car, because apparently we can't walk through the mall to exit, and we're parked on the other side of the building. Good morning, children.
Good morning. Good morning.
Some people are not awake yet, myself included. It was a long night. Saw Superman. It was super. Here we are on our last day in Oregon, and of course my nerve issue just hit. I cannot move, so I got the old man patches. Excuse me while Dana medicates me. Oh. Nothing like getting a giant patch of icy hot and Bengay on you in the middle of a parking lot. I really hurt y'all. So no big plans today other than we're getting some stuff that our dad has on his list for, well, as he puts it, necessities, which all the stuff's provided by his facility, but he's a grumpy old man. Let's call it what it is. So now we are going to make one stop. This place that we went to last time that my sister really liked, well, specifically my brother-in-law really liked because my sister got him stuff there. And we don't have these back in Tucson. So let's go check it out. Where is it that we're going, you ask? The Duluth Trading Company. Got some of the chonies last time I was here, and I was really impressed. And my brother-in-law really wanted some more, so hey, why not? Let's go check it out. Maybe we'll get Henry some chonies, because he already said no to the lingerie store that was back there. Don't know why. And right now it looks like there's a sale going on, which is even cooler. Let's go see what they got. It's orange. Say, please, sir, can I have some more? Okay, fine, don't talk. These are the ones I got last time. I have to say, fit like a glove, and they really do keep men's nether regions nice and cool, even in toasty environments, like where I'm from. Tucson. I know you probably don't know this, but my sister is really into gnomes. Dana, I found a bunch of gnomes. Who do you think of when you think of gnomes?
Your sister.
I would get her one, but, well, they're creepy. Henry, what are the gnomes?
Creepy.
Told you. Charlie desperately wanted to show me the motorcycle. You know what I think of when I see this motorcycle, Charlie? Captain America. Kind of looks like his bike, except his is a Harley. I don't think that's a Harley. But it does have a sidecar. That's kind of cool. Hope this kid has no expectations. I can't even ride a bicycle, let alone this. Hey, look, it's the Airedales. Found something kind of fits the mold,
Hey, Daddy.
so we'll try it out, and if it doesn't Work? Well, I guess we have new cloths for the garage. So both times now, my siblings seem really surprised, never heard of this place. We don't have them in Tucson, but let's give it another whirl and see if it is as good as last time. Well, let's give it a whirl. Well, after a very disappointing start with Tracktown Pizza, we decided to give pizza in Eugene one more shot. We're here at Roaring Rapids Pizza Company. We're gonna give it a whirl because it's the closest thing you have to like a kid's restaurant here. I will say though, we did cheat and look at some of the reviews. Not well received, but it's right on the water and it has stuff for kids, so let's go check it out. They really had an extensive menu that is designed for kids and kids entertainment, and all their food was inspired by local fare. In other words, everything was inspired and had a name of a local area, city, or town. I really do like the ambiance of the restaurant so far. They do have a salad bar that looks, well, just a little sad, but it's a salad bar nonetheless. But it's cool. They have an old school carousel and a full arcade area. And we have noticed a trend up here in the Pacific Northwest. It is definitely a Pepsi area. We haven't seen Coke products really anywhere. And this is gonna sound really weird, but one thing I've noticed, it kind of has, it's gonna sound weird, it has like a theme park smell to it, kind of like, I don't know, that old, dingy, but constantly clean with, like, not in a bad way. I don't know how to describe it. It sounds like I'm insulting. It's actually, no, it kind of gives me that comfort smell a little bit. And really nice to sit out there on the water and actually watch everything go by, but it is way too hot. It is as hot here in Eugene, Oregon as it is back in Tucson, Arizona right now. But next up, let's get that food out and let's give it a taste and see what we think. We start off with the Henry classic of breadsticks. It is still his favorite food and he crushed a whole one with no problems. Next thing up we got is a broken cup. Was not expecting that, but hey, you know what? Things happen. Charlie got his normal cheese pizza, which was fantastic, and that smell immediately hit me with some nostalgia, just like this pizza did. Their pepperoni with hot honey had cornmeal on it, good, stiff, cracker-like consistency and quality. This was the lowest rated pizza in town. However, it made me think of Peter Piper Pizza back here in Tucson. From taste, smell, environment, you know what? I loved every single bite of it. Makes sense. Found it right away. This boy and his monster trucks. And this boy and his Minecraft. There's not a lot of games here, but it's a decent selection. I will admit, they probably picked the better games they could have from what was available. And now the main draw. This is located right on the Willamette River. Nothing like eating pizza, having a good time, playing some video games, to the roaring sounds of the local river and all the people fishing and having good old fun. The views alone are worth it. Say goodbye, Oregon.
Bye.
Bye, Oregon. We're going home to warm, very warm weather. It's gonna be hot. Boys, what city are we in?
Portland.
Portland, and guess what? We're gonna do something we do on every trip. We're gonna go look at comics. That's right, we're here at the Lloyd Center, which has a place inside called Floating World Comics. I have never been there before, and it was suggested to me by my friend Eric, my collaborator on such books as The Inner Circle and The Raven, and the forthcoming Devil and the Guy with the Bat. So we have a little bit of time. Let's head in there and see what we can find. When Eric told me about this shop, and he's an old school comic book guy, I was not expecting it to be in a mall, so this was kind of a surprise to us. Granted, we're here very early, but it looks like everything is closed or gone. Like the Alta over here is completely hollowed out, and it just looks empty. But the mall itself looks cool. Like, I can see this totally in an 80s movie, essentially. Now, we try to find the shop. But first, potty break. What in the not in Arizona anymore is going on here? Charlie, what are they doing?
Ice fishing?
Ice fishing?
Yeah, ice rink.
Oh, ice skating rink? That's crazy. You ever been ice skating before?
I do not want to go on.
You do or don't?
I don't.
Nah, I don't blame you. Me and ice don't get along either. So far, I am not a fan of the layout of this mall. It's very empty, desolate. Dawn of the Dead mall. Oh yeah, we're definitely in Portland. Everything, like the mall technically opened 2 minutes ago and everything is listed to have opened 2 minutes ago. Nada y más nada. Has a place next door called Gambit's Games and Anime, but what we're going here is FWC, Floating World Comics. Well, that was greatly disappointing. The comic book shop, it had a lot of cool indie books, as you're saying, but that was about it. In fact, I was a little kind of irritated the staff didn't even acknowledge our existence at all. They just kept talking about a skateboard park that was across the street. So, Well, sorry guys. Floating Worlds was vastly disappointing, so we're going to take 10 minutes before we fill up here in Vancouver, Washington to go to a place I've been to many, many times before, much to Dana's chagrin. Because I do, in fact, like comics. I always love the international versions of releases. Those are so cool. A rare occurrence of a Turtles #1 that I don't own. Ooh, I'm tempted. Ooh, just one away from the first Wonder Woman. Got both of those in my collection. I'll have all of these in my collection. And super happy to report they're Invincible #1. $1,200 for me. Fare thee well, faithful warrior. Now it's on to the real battle. Getting through security. Well, we just got through security. Dana had her shoes checked because, well, look at her. And they threw away our toothpaste because it was slightly too big. Since they finished the remodel, this airport's actually really nice. The first few times I flew here, it was just a mess. Here we go again, just not as smooth this time. We're home. We are back in Tucson, well, Marana at the moment. And I'm heading to work. I'm back to work immediately. Got home last night around 10 o'clock. Sorry there wasn't a lot of audio recordings. I was just kind of recording things as we went, and we had a lot of stuff happen on our journey back yesterday. So after you last saw us, when we just left the comic book shop, Charlie decided to get car sick and vomit all over the back. Luckily, we kept a very, very rare plastic bag in the state of Oregon and Washington for him to vomit in, because he has a tendency of once in a while just getting randomly sick. After that, we get to the airport. We get held up by TSA because, weirdly enough, my backpack is what I figured would hold us up because that's where our medicine is. We had some cash in there and a ton of electronics. No, it went through just fine. Our suitcases got held up, one containing dirty clothes, one containing the remaining clean clothes. What held them up is the toothpaste was slightly too large for the plane, which weirdly enough, this is the same one we flew out with, the same one I flew out with back in March. Like, okay, I guess that's a thing. And then Dana got pulled to the side to do a random check, and they swabbed her shoes. I'm assuming they had pretty thick soles on them, so it looked a little odd. But we made it back, but we almost didn't. Our first flight was supposed to board at 2:10 and be in the air at 2:50. We actually did not get even pushed away from the terminal until about 3:25, so 30 minutes after we were supposed to, 35 if you're playing at home. And then we actually didn't get in the air till 5:48. Now we were supposed to land in Los Angeles at 5:50. We didn't get on the ground until about 6 o'clock. Well, long story short is our next plane was supposed to depart at 6:10. They started boarding at 6 o'clock according to the thing. They started boarding at 6:10. We didn't get to the terminal until about 6:20. Luckily for us, they were behind as well, so we made the flight. But there was actually a few people on our previous flight who we know for a fact were flying back to Tucson because we saw them fly out to Oregon with us, and they're flying back, it looks like, at the same time, that did not make the flight. And in our rush over there, while we were on the bus going from the main terminal at LAX over to the regional terminal to go back to Tucson, I was actually on my phone already looking for hotels because I thought we were going to miss it. But we made it home. Got home, got some food, came home, and immediately crashed. And then I immediately woke up and on my way to work. Nana's already at work. It was an interesting trip back. But how was the trip overall? The trip was bittersweet. We went out there, obviously, if you've been watching the channel, because my dad's not in the best of health, and I want my kids to remember him. And Charlie is only the second time he's ever met him. Henry met him when he was a baby, so I don't really count that one. So he's only met him twice as well. But unfortunately, the facility my dad was in wasn't really accommodating to larger groups or visitation, I guess you could say. And I'm gonna sound mean here. My dad's can be grumpy and very focused. I'll just use that term, focused, and not really aware of what's going on around him. So even when our trips and we were visiting him, there was lots of back and forth, arguing, to a certain degree, not as bad as in the past. I think he realizes arguing is a moot point at this juncture. So we only spent maybe a total of 3 hours with him, and we didn't get really to do the other stuff we went out there for. It was a lot of logistical stuff, getting prepared for certain things in the future. But on the bright side, we did spend some time with him. We got some good quality family photos and a little bit of discussions and talks. But I also got to spend time with my brother and sister and their mother, which my kids absolutely love Uncle Dale and Auntie Dawn. And Charlie kept asking, where's Marge? Is Marge going to ride with us? Is Auntie Dawn going to ride with us? So they all made these really good impacts, and we got to do a few things around the Eugene area. Downside is, there's not a lot to do around the Eugene area. It is definitely a university college town. The dining, I will say, was not the greatest in the world. We did do a couple pizza spots and pizza reviews. One had terrible ratings, and it was much better than the one that had the better ratings. It was an adventure. We went to their science center, which was fun for what it was, but definitely not what I was expecting for as much as we saw it touted in some of the advertising for it. And the drive up and back was very beautiful and scenic. Dana really loved all the green in the area because, you know, she's from Southern California and mostly here in Arizona now. We don't see a lot of forestry like that. My dad's really expecting us to come back in the next couple months, which I already told him I don't know how realistic that is. It was a struggle for me to get away from work for this. Not that I can't get away from work, it's just, you know, I try to explain to him, you know, every time we do this, it's this much money, it's this much logistics, you know, the kids are starting school soon. We can't just up and go, which is how he spent his life living, just up and going whenever he wants. So that's going to be interesting, but I'm going to try and get out there again soon just because there is a lot of loose ends we need to tie up still. But I'm glad to be back. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, it was really like a hodgepodge mixed cut of a bunch of different videos because realistically I wasn't there to film. I happened to film while we were there. This was more of a family-oriented trip and more of getting my kids to know their grandfather. But all in all, it was an interesting trip that I don't regret at all. I'm just tired and I'm immediately going back to work. I have no idea what's waiting for me. So until next time, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys soon. Regular videos coming fairly soon, I'd imagine. Bye-bye, everybody.